I'll say that again. Children need your supervision. You can trust people, but you need to verify who they are. You need to verify their character. And that takes time. And in this generation, we live in a microwave society where we want to close the gap of not knowing and we want to trust people. So we extend our most valuable information, our most valuable possession, our children, and we want to make everyone family. We want to make everyone a close, trusted confidant and friend when we really need to trust but verify. Slow it down. Let people show you that they're trustworthy. Let people show you that they deserve a right to be around your child. And make sure that you are still supervising and you're checking and you're having conversations with your children. How do you feel about this person? Don't assume this person is nice to children, because you could turn your back and they can be very inappropriate. They could be sexually inappropriate. They can be violent towards your child. And you get to trust but verify. Verify that. Ask your child, how do you feel about so-and-so? Give your child a platform to know that they don't have to give everybody a hug. They don't have to like every adult. That's not being rude. They don't have to speak to every adult, family member or not. Let your child know that their opinion of the people in their life is important. You don't have to accept everyone. And you don't have to leave your precious child with people. The devil is willing to babysit for you. He has an agenda. He wants to get your children alone so that he can exploit them. So it's like playing defense. It is not like, it is playing defense, because what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your child is verbal. You're going to make sure that your child is able to express comfort and discomfort. And you're going to make sure that the person that you leave your child with is someone that you can trust. Now, I'm not saying this is a bulletproof plan, because sometimes these predators, they kind of slip through the cracks, but we're going to do all that we can to trust but verify. In our legal system, we say innocent until proven guilty. That's not the case when it comes to the safety of our children. We have to say guilty until proven innocent. You have to assume that you don't know people. So yes, again, I'll backtrack and say that means we have to spend time with people. We have to observe behavior. We have to get to know people. It's okay to get a reference. It's okay to communicate with one another. And that's why it's so important that we do communicate, because in our culture, we don't like to talk. That's why it was called Quiet on the Set, because people have information about people and they don't share it. And I'm not saying sharing it in a way that's dishonoring and disrespectful, but sharing it in a way that is respectful, but also keeps the people around you safe. The enemy banks on us being silent. Silence is a killer, and silence is dangerous. We get to speak. Whenever there's relationships, communication needs to be one of the most operated tools. We get to say what we think, what we feel, all of those things. People need to know that if they come into your sphere of influence, that all the lights are on, and that we're going to lovingly confront each other. We're going to lovingly hold one another accountable, and we're going to seek the safety of all. We're going to set boundaries that keep everyone safe. And so we're going to trust but verify. Most people who have been sexually abused, they don't have the boundary system that they need. Some do. It's like a spectrum. It's, either they're overly protective or they're not protective at all. But my suggestion is that you do your due diligence and you make room for people to come into your life, but at a pace that allows you to vet them, and a place that allows you to keep everyone safe. I don't care if it is the church. If I'm at Chuck E. Cheese, if I'm at the mall, if I'm at a conference, and if I'm at my own church, I'm always checking to see where my children and grandchildren are. It's just what I do, because some people are not able to keep themselves safe because they just are obsessed with sexual morality and they're, predators. So by being conscious and by being protective, we're not only looking out for the child, but we're making it harder for the victimizer and the predator so that they really get to consider their ways. We're just not going to make it easy for you, right? And so that is something that I want you to think about. Trust but verify, supervise. Your child does not necessarily need to do sleepovers. You get to be the judge, but I'm telling you, that needs to happen with people you honestly trust to supervise your children and to watch over your children. I will say that children should not babysit children. I don't believe that teenagers should watch children because there's just not enough investment in supervision and judgment. I think that children should be supervised by adults and more specifically, a healthy parent. That's just what I've seen to work. Now, I'm telling you, I've been a licensed marriage and therapist for almost 2 decades. And what I've heard and seen, it's enough to make you want to watch over your children because there are people who are ill and they have ill will towards your children. Some people are compulsive and they're not that they're evil. They're just, they can't help themselves. So we want to help those help themselves, and we want to put boundaries around our children. And that's number 5. Boundaries. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries with adults and with kids. Make sure your children understand that their body belongs to them. Their bathing suit area is private, right? Even among siblings, close the door. Let them have a towel on. Teach them how to be protective of their bodies. Their body is a great place to start boundaries. And so they need to know that no one has permission to not only touch, but even to see. And so you can start that as early as potty training stage so that people will know that it is odd that someone is breaking a boundary. And it needs to be an open communication that your body belongs to you. Adults, you need to be able to be comfortable not letting people hold your children, not letting people, play a certain way with your children. If you're tickling your children, whatever you don't feel comfortable with, you have to be able to verbalize the boundary. Give your children the weapon of no, because usually when children are assertive and they speak up for themselves, that lessens their likelihood of being sexually abused. The passive children, the neglected child, the abused child are usually the ones that are sexually abused. So I'm not saying it never happens, but we want to reduce harm. We want to reduce the likelihood of our children being sexually abused. The next one, number 6, is watch those secrets. Teach your child about secrets because secrets are not appropriate. The difference is that you want to be able to teach your child surprise versus secret. Whenever I have something that I want my children to hold off, like a birthday party or a special gift, that's not a secret, right? You have to be very clear about differentiating secret, and surprise. Secret is something that is bad and harmful and you don't ever plan on telling someone. Surprise is something that's good and that you're going to reveal. It's just you're waiting to reveal it. Secret is don't reveal. Surprise is a good thing that you're going to reveal at a particular time. So even very early on, start the communication of not letting your children keep secrets. And even if you're playing games like telling each other something in the ear and it just sounds exciting, like, ooh, I know something you don't know. You want to tell your children the difference between a secret and a surprise. And newsflash, adults should never, ever keep secrets with kids. You should never do that. It's not your place, and and it's inappropriate because you're teaching children how to be deceptive and how to keep information that they shouldn't keep. Because if they're not supposed to tell anyone, then they should not have heard it to begin with. So be very clear and interrupt that. People may say, oh, you're tough, you're a tough parent, or you're micromanaging, or you're a helicopter parent. No, you are setting boundaries and you are on your leadership supervision game. That's what it is when you're parenting. You're a leader and you're a supervisor. And so ultimately, parents are responsible and caregivers are responsible to keep their children safe.